an undercover FBI informant who was involved in the Russian acquisition of Uranium One, finally broke his silence, and spoke with congressional investigators Wednesday. According to The Hill, American businessman William Douglas Campbell provided a written statement and answered several hours' worth of questions from representatives of three separate committees: Senate Judiciary, House Intelligence and House Oversight and Government Reform, about what he had learned and shared with his handlers at the FBI. This included how Russia routed millions of dollars into America with the purpose of gaining influence with the Clintons, while then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had taken the lead in the Russian reset foreign policy. Campbell testified that the money flowed through an American lobbying firm known as APCO Worldwide that had been hired for an annual fee of $3 million, with the intent of purchasing favor with the Clintons toward Russia by contributing financially to former President Bill Clinton's charitable work, according to the Washington Examiner. The contract called for 4 payments of $750,000 over 12 months, Campbell explained in his written statement. APCO was expected to give assistance free of charge to the Clinton Global Initiative as part of their effort to create a favorable environment to ensure the Obama administration made affirmative decisions on everything from Uranium One to the U.S. Russia Civilian Nuclear Cooperation Agreement. Trending, John McCain joins Doomsdreamer movement in effort to stop Trump's border wall. When reached for comment, APCO didn't dispute that they worked with both Russian interests and the Clinton Foundation, but insisted that the work was separate and not connected in any way. A spokesman for Clinton, Nick Merrill, as well as elected Democrats, called Campbell's testimony a distraction and tried to cast doubt on its credibility. However, Republicans argued Campbell's credibility is not in question as he worked for years as an informant with both the FBI and CIA, and had even been rewarded with a $50,000 check and commendation from the Bureau in 2016 for his efforts in uncovering a broad bribery and racketeering scheme by the Russians. Campbell began informing the FBI of the Russian plot to gain a foothold in the U.S. uranium market in 2009. Which ultimately resulted in their gaining approval in 2010 from the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S. for the sale of Canadian-owned Uranium One, which held mining interests in America, to Russian mining company Rosatom. Would you like to see a transcript of the informant's testimony released? Yes, no, _continue with Facebook, or, completing this poll entitles you to Conservative Tribune News updates free of charge. You may opt out at any time. You also agree to our privacy policy in terms of use. You're logged into Facebook. Click here to log out. The informant also turned over documents in his possession which detailed how both Russian and American executives involved in this scheme had engaged in bribery to obtain the coveted approval. Furthermore, he also unveiled how Russia was potentially in violation of international sanctions by its provision of aid and assistance to Iran in regard to the construction and fabrication of the country's nuclear reactor facilities. Campbell also revealed that he had done much of his work while dealing with a bout of brain cancer and leukemia, as well as alcoholism. He also spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of his own money as part of FBI-directed bribes to maintain his cover, and was never reimbursed. Reporter Sarah Carter, who has been covering the Uranium One story for some time, described Campbell's testimony as explosive, particularly as it related to Russian aid to Iran and their efforts at influencing the Clintons. Related, the NC letter uncovered, Obama may have been asking FBI about Trump frame-up. Mr. Campbell testified for over 4 hours until he answered every question from 3 congressional committees, the Senate Judiciary, House Oversight and House Intelligence Committees, stated the informant's attorney, Victoria Tonsing. He recounted numerous times that the Russians bragged that the Clintons' influence in the Obama administration would ensure CFIUS approval for Uranium One. And he was right. Douglas Campbell just laid out for Congress what many of us already suspected, namely that the Russians purchased influence with the Clintons in order to facilitate their purchase of a mining company that would grant them control of a significant portion of U.S. produced uranium. Share this story on Facebook so everyone can see what undercover FBI informant Douglas Campbell said to Congress about what he knew of the Uranium One deal. What do you think of what this FBI informant told Congress about Russia and the Clintons? Scroll down to comment below.